Hello everyone, it's Emma, and we did not really vlog this weekend, but I want to take you along on our adventure anyway. What I mean is we took snippets, we took videos here and there, but we never actually sat down and talked to the camera, and there's a couple reasons why. First off, I just really did not feel like vlogging. I really wanted to enjoy this weekend and not have to worry about vlogging everywhere. Two, we were in national parks. Not that it's banned or anything, but there were a lot of people and I'm still awkward. Number three, a lot of our actual time where we would have been sitting down talking to the camera was at our campsite, and we just had daylight savings time, which means the sun doesn't rise until 6:30 in the morning and then the sun sets at 5 p.m. So all the times we were at our campsite, it was dark. So there really was no good time to vlog, as well as the Jeep is so loud when we drive, so it would have been hard to vlog in the car as well. But I wanted to take you along and kind of walk you through what we did this weekend. So we headed up to Moab on Thursday. It's about a 6-hour drive, which is not that bad considering how big and spread out everything is out here. And also, we decided to camp because camping is free and it's a lot more fun and relaxed. So we found a campsite, dispersed camping off of a dirt road. The road is a little sketchy just because you drive along a cliff for part of it, but the off-roading itself was not difficult. So we camped out there in the middle of some BLM land. Friday was really exciting. We went to Arches National Park, which in my own personal opinion, I was a little underwhelmed. I had also been to Arches 9 years ago or so on a family road trip. My memories were just about as much as we saw. There's not that much to see in the park. There are the few famous arches, which are really cool, but to get to Delicate Arch, the most famous arch, it's 3 miles round trip, and then to get to Landscape Arch, 2 miles round trip, and then Double O Arch was about 4 miles round trip. And Double O Arch, you also have to scramble a bunch, and I was just really tired this day. Don't get me wrong, the hike was a lot of fun, and had I been more mentally prepared, I didn't think it would be that difficult. I probably would have enjoyed it more. But that's pretty much all we did, was spend the day at Arches, and then again every night we grabbed dinner in the city. Moab is such a cool little town, but it is very touristy. I was also really surprised with how busy it was this weekend, being early winter. It was packed. Barely found a camp spot. We spent we went around this parking lot in Arches 5 times trying to walk the Devil's Garden loop. So I think that's something that really bummed me out too about Arches. It is so busy. I did not think it was going to be one of the most popular parks. And maybe it's not. Maybe they just aren't built to handle that many people. I don't know. But the Devil's Garden Loop was really, really cool. I definitely recommend it. But if you do the Devil's Garden Loop, you need a map. Probably a GPS map, a Garmin, a Finza, one of those other apps. Even All Trails might work. But a paper map probably wouldn't suffice. The trail is not really a trail. It's a lot of scrambling, a lot of slick rock, and a lot of looking for cairns. So just be really, really careful on this trail. Bring lots of food and water, especially if it's during the summer. We got really tired and it was mid-November. But yeah, that was pretty much the highlights from Arches. The cool part about Arches though is it's a very accessible park by car. So if you have kids in stroller, you have a disability, you're in a wheelchair, this park is really easy to see from the vehicle, though those few most famous arches you have to see on foot, but the rest you can see from the car. Let's see. Moving on to Saturday. Saturday we started off the morning by going to Dead Horse Point State Park, which was really cool. I had only seen pictures of this one viewpoint, but it's only 5 miles to see pretty much the entire park. You do the East Rim and the West Rim, or vice versa, and it was so cool. The views were amazing. You could see the Colorado River, the Green River, salt/potash farming. Maybe not farming, excavating that you can see, which is pretty cool. I mean, as you can see here, the views were just incredible. And I think maybe that's part of why I didn't like Arches. My expectations were super high for Arches and it didn't meet them. And then my expectations for Dead Horse Point were super low. So maybe that's why it seemed more interesting to me. I don't know. I don't have much footage just because I don't want to show you bumpy footage from off-roading, but we decided, so here's Dead Horse Point, here's Canyonlands, and then here's our campsite, over here. So we were okay, okay, we stayed on Gemini Bridge's dirt road. Let's take that back, and then we'll take Potash Road back to Canyonlands. So it was an hour and a half out of the way. Well, more than that because it's a dirt road. It was quite a lot out of the way, but it was really, really cool. I highly recommend taking Potash Road. This is coming from someone who hates off-roading. I hate off-roading. It's mostly just because I'm really headache sensitive, so if I do too much jostling around off-roading like that, I get a headache, and then the headache lasts for days. It's really a no from me, especially when there's nothing to see. That's always my question to Dan when he's let's go off-roading. I'm well, what are we gonna see? Are there gonna be views? Is there gonna be a hike at the end? Is it gonna be worth it? Potash Road is worth it. But then we get on a Potash Road. The first bit is paved, and You can do a couple pull-offs to go see some petroglyphs. You can go see some dinosaur prints, which is really cool. And then the rest is dirt road. You do need a high clearance vehicle, like necessary. There were some parts where we were very skeptical about our friend Subaru. his Crosstrek. It made it, but like almost didn't. Four-wheel drive probably does come in handy in some areas, but it was not necessary. His vehicle, the Crosstrek, is only all-wheel drive, so four-wheel drive isn't necessary, but it probably will help make your drive a little easier. Once you get maybe halfway through Potash Road, that's when it gets really, really cool. There's some great overlooks, and then so when you're at Dead Horse Point, you're looking down onto Potash Road. So on Potash Road, you're essentially like in the basin of Dead Horse Point Canyon. So cool. And then the best part, you cross this little, you cross a cattle guard, and then all of a sudden you're in Canyonlands, and that's when the drive gets really intense. I think had we gone the other way, had we gone down from Canyonlands, I would have been very scared. But we went up to Canyonlands. We were doing switchbacks up a cliff, literally. It was a little scary being on the edge, but the views were amazing, and that is a part of Canyonlands that almost no one sees. So if you have an off-road vehicle, highly recommend it. We finally get to Canyonlands. We wanted to see a few more things, but the sun literally had just dipped behind the horizon. Like I said, I hate daylight savings time. We lost sunlight at like 5:30 p.m., maybe 6 at the latest. So we're like, we really only have time for one thing at Canyonlands, which kind of sucked, but it was a great overlook. I think it was just Green River Overlook, Green River Point. That was really, really cool. And then the whole time while we're in Moab, the La Salle Mountains are in the background, and it was such a crystal clear weekend, and the mountains were snow-capped. Absolutely beautiful. Moab is a amazing town. And then each night we went back to camp, sat by the fire for a few hours. We got some firewood. You can only burn Utah wood in Utah, and then you could only have fires in the winter once the fire bans are lifted for the year. So be cognizant of that if you're going. Also, be cognizant of the fact that it was really cold. We woke up every morning with frost on our tents. The first morning was actually painful. My body was in pain from being so cold, but I acclimated a little bit the last 2 days, as well as I did put on like one more layer of pants, and we got better at making fires. That helped a lot too. And then hot hands. Not for my hands, but I put them in my boots. It helped a little bit keep my toes warm. But yeah, camping in the cold, not my jam, but camping in Moab is dope. Yeah, so not just Arches was busy, the entire city was busy. So many people off-roading, so many people mountain biking, so many people climbing. Like, Moab is such an adventure, like, capital of the United States. Skydiving, helicopter tours, such a cool place. I highly recommend going to Moab. I think 2 days was perfect. So we had 2 full days. We drove Thursday and Sunday, and then we had Friday, Saturday in the town and in the region. 2 days was perfect. We saw everything we wanted to. A third day might have been nice to see a little bit more of Canyonlands, but we really enjoyed what we got to see. So I hope that you enjoyed this different take on a video of ours, not really vlog style, but let me know what you think. Do you like vlog style more? Do you like this style more? Let us know where we should go next. This winter is going to be interesting. This is our first winter in the Southwest, so we don't want to like plan a bunch of stuff and then, you know, be overwhelmed with like how cold it is, because I know it does get cold here, not like as cold as some regions, but definitely want to try skiing this year. Maybe some winter hikes, but like day hikes, I do not want to camp in the snow. That is a hard pass for me. We'll see what we get into this winter. It might be more sit down style like this, talking about like our gear review, tips for new hikers, our favorite hikes in Las Vegas, and so forth. So if you have any ideas for that type of content, let us know what you want to see. But that's all that we have for now. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end, and we'll see you in the next one.